Welcome, learner, to a brand new deep dive. Today, we're tackling something really important for great intimacy. Female pleasure during oral sex.
Hmm.
We'll be digging into insights from the book Female Organism, the Best Oral Sex Ever to Give Her a Mind-Blowing Pleasure.
Sounds pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, exactly. Our mission is basically to pull out the key knowledge, why women love it, the benefits for everyone, what you need to know beforehand,
Yeah.
specific things women appreciate.
Techniques, the G-spot, what not to do.
Right, all that stuff, and even some positions. So let's get started on, well, getting properly informed.
Absolutely. And this isn't just like learning a technique, is it? It's more about understanding what really creates pleasure and that sense of connection.
Definitely.
What struck me from the source is how it weaves together the physical stuff with, the emotional connection and even feeling psychologically safe. That all plays a part.
Okay, so let's jump right in. The big question. What makes oral sex so, well, enjoyable for so many women?
Good place to start.
The book highlights a few key things. For many, it's just, fun, a good way to spice things up in the relationship.
Keeps things interesting.
Yeah, and it's seen as this really powerful way to build intimacy, that closeness. We even have a quote here. One woman calls it the cream on the cake, says it leads to really intense orgasms for her.
Well, okay. Cream on the cake.
Right. And another woman mentioned how much she appreciated her partner making her pleasure, specifically through oral sex, a clear priority, like before and after intercourse.
That says a lot, doesn't it? About feeling prioritized, feeling like your pleasure really matters.
Exactly. It speaks volumes about being valued sexually.
And if we look at the wider benefits, the book touches on some maybe surprising advantages for both partners.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, interestingly, it mentions research suggesting that for men who, regularly perform oral sex, there might be less chance of infidelity and maybe more satisfaction in the relationship overall.
Huh. That's interesting. And what about for women? Any benefits mentioned there?
Yeah, for women, the book actually cites some research linking receiving oral sex to possibly a lower risk of preeclampsia during pregnancy.
Oh, preeclampsia.
Hmm. Now, obviously, more research is always needed, but it's a fascinating potential health link they bring up.
Definitely something to think about.
And beyond that, just for the tuple, it suggests oral sex can lead to more passionate sex in general, maybe help men get a fuller erection, deepen that mind-body-soul connection.
That holistic feeling.
Right. And even things like relieving stress, boosting intimacy, and sleeping better. So it positions it as having these like far-reaching positive ripples.
So it's clearly more than just the immediate physical thing. Okay, before we get into the how-tos, the book lays out 6 really crucial things to know before you even start.
Good groundwork. Always important.
First one, maybe obvious, but worth saying, pregnancy isn't a risk with oral sex.
Okay, got it.
Second, and this is huge for health, absolutely vital, both partners need to get tested for STDs. The book is really clear. Transmission is possible through oral contact, giving, or receiving. And condoms or dental dams are the only way to really protect against STIs here.
That's such a critical reminder. It's easy to kind of forget that oral sex isn't risk-free in that sense. Can't stress that enough.
Totally agree. Okay, third point. This is about expectations and respect. No automatic obligation to reciprocate. Just because someone goes down on you doesn't mean you have to do it back, then or ever. It's about choice.
Good point. No quid pro quo necessary.
Exactly. Fourth, oral sex doesn't automatically have to lead to intercourse. It's a perfectly valid, enjoyable act all on its own. No pressure to go further if you don't want to.
Consent, consent, consent. It applies to every single step, doesn't it? Every act needs that freely given yes.
Absolutely. Fifth point, pretty simple but worth stating. It's okay if you just don't like oral sex. Receiving it, giving it, whatever.
Preferences vary hugely.
Totally. And talking openly about what you like and don't like is always the way to go.
Communication again.
Always. And the sixth point kind of wraps it all up. Have those open, honest conversations with your partner beforehand. Talk about questions, worries, preferences. Just get it out there before things get, intimate.
Yeah, laying that foundation of respect and just understanding each other makes everything better.
Right.
Essential for any kind of positive sexual experience.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, so now the book shifts into what women specifically tend to really appreciate during oral sex. What jumped out at you here?
Well, a big one seems to be focus. Just knowing that their partner's complete attention is on their pleasure right then and there.
Dedicated attention. Yeah, that makes sense. The book also mentions surprises and using different techniques. Keeps things from getting monotonous.
Yeah.
Shows you're putting in effort.
Right, variety. And another interesting one was stopping intercourse to perform oral sex.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. It sends a really strong signal, doesn't it? Like, your pleasure right now is the most important thing.
Exactly. That theme of prioritizing her pleasure just keeps coming up. And the book also stresses warming up first, using hands, kissing, touching, building that arousal before going straight for oral stimulation.
Yeah, the build up. And apparently it's a big turn on for many women, just knowing that their partner actually enjoys giving them oral pleasure.
Validates their desirability, maybe, makes them feel good about receiving.
And the book even suggests maybe incorporating sex toys alongside oral sex for extra sensation, variety.
Interesting.
But ultimately, it really seems to boil down to her feeling like her pleasure is genuinely the #1 priority in that moment.
These points really highlight how much the emotional and psychological side matters, don't they? It's not just mechanics. It's feeling desired, cherished, having your needs met.
Totally. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Practical advice. The book gives some quick but really important oral sex tips for men. What are the key ones we should pull out?
Well, the first one is fundamental.
Mm-hmm.
Every woman is different, especially clitoral position and sensitivity. What works wonders for one might do nothing for another.
Super important. No one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly. And the book really bangs the drum on the mind-body connection. Said something like 80% of the sexual experience starts in the brain.
80%. Wow.
Yeah. So creating a nice atmosphere, being complimentary, maybe even a massage beforehand, helping her relax and get into that receptive headspace is key.
Setting the stage makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. It's about creating that safe, desired feeling before you even get close.
That's precisely.
Yeah.
Then there's this principle they call 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Okay. What's that about?
It's all about building tension and anticipation.
Well,
Like kissing down her body, pausing deliberately, maybe looking at her, then going back to kissing her mouth, building that expectation.
got the keys.
Yeah, the tease. And when you're actually approaching her genitals, they suggest gliding your mouth down close without touching it first. Pause. Make eye contact. That little moment of anticipation can be super arousing.
I can see how that would work. It's like foreplay during the act itself, building desire slowly instead of just jumping in.
You got it. The book also says don't forget the inner thighs. Often overlooked, but can be really sensitive.
Good tip.
And when you do make contact down there, start gentle licks. Avoid going straight for the clitoris right away.
Okay, gentle start.
Then use your tongue to kind of flick and caress the clitoris and the labia around it, the outer and inner folds. Different directions, different pressures. Gentle, but maybe not too light if she's used to, say, a vibrator. You need some presence.
Right, finding that balance. Not too rough, not just a feather tickle.
And communication, again, is vital here, too. Asking her during, does this feel good? More like this. That feedback is gold.
Constantly checking in. Makes sense. Okay, what if orgasm hasn't happened yet?
The book suggests maybe trying G-spot stimulation about 2 inches inside upper wall while still licking the clitoris.
Okay, multitasking.
Yeah. And for direct clitoral stimulation aimed at orgasm, the advice is usually consistent licking, good pace, maybe for around 5 to 10 minutes for many women.
Consistency is key there.
And here's a really interesting tip, often missed, when she actually starts to orgasm. Stop the direct, intense licking. Just hold your tongue still on the clitoris.
Hold it still. Really?
Yeah. Apparently that pause or stillness right on the spot during orgasm can sometimes lead to longer, even more intense climaxes.
Huh. That's a subtle but potentially powerful insight. Shows a deeper understanding of clitoral sensitivity right at that peak moment.
Definitely more nuanced.
Okay.
So the book then goes even deeper with this section called 11 Secrets on How to Eat Her Pussy, the Magical Guide for Men.
Okay. Magical guide. The tone is certainly enthusiastic there.
It is. So secret 1 is about making her feel beautiful and safe. Basically, address insecurities, give genuine compliments, create that emotional safety so she can relax and open up.
Back to that emotional foundation. Feeling secure and desired seems fundamental.
Totally. Secret 2 is about raising your awareness and presence, staying focused, appreciating what you're doing, what you're seeing, and maybe even saying it out loud. You look amazing. This feels incredible. Communication boosts arousal.
Makes sense. Words have power. What's secret 3?
Perfect position. Suggest a pillow under her butt to lift her pelvis, knees wide for better access, and importantly, make sure you're comfortable too, so you're not straining.
Yeah, comfort for both partners is crucial if you want it to last and be enjoyable, right? Lets you relax into it.
Exactly. Secret 4 really hammers home slowing down. tease her, approach her pussy slowly. It even quotes Taoist teachings comparing men's energy to fire and women's to water.
Fire and water.
Yeah, basically saying women often need more time to heat up, average maybe 20, 30 minutes for full arousal.
Yeah.
So teasing, licking inner thighs, slowly getting closer, plus setting the mood, music, quiet, maybe gently rocking her pelvis to release tension.
Okay, slow burn is the idea. Patience pays off.
Seems so. Secret 5 is simple. Listen up. Pay close attention to her body breathing, hip movements, little sounds. They tell you what's working.
Reading the signals, that turns it from something you do to her into something you're experiencing together.
Exactly. Secret 6. Lick her. Kiss her. Recommends the pillow again. Then technique. Use your tongue to gently separate the labia. Circle the clitoris without touching it at first. Breathe on it. Pause. Then gentle flicks, gradually faster. As orgasm gets closer, maybe take the whole clit in your mouth. Move with her body's rhythm.
Moving with her body, that's a great image. Being responsive.
Mm-hmm. Secret 7 actually encourages using a vibrator sometimes.
Oh, really? Together with oral?
Yeah, a small, controllable one.
Oh.
Use it on the clitoral hood, the labia, while also using your mouth. Adds another layer of sensation.
Okay, mixing it up.
Secret 8, the crescendo. Gradually increase pressure and speed on the clitoris based on her reactions. It uses this analogy. Think gentle ice cream cone licking, not frantic jabbing.
Ah. Okay, the ice cream cone analogy. Memorable and effective. Tells you the kind of touch needed.
Right. Secret 9 is about the magical spot, the G-spot. Describes it on the roof of the vagina, feels spongy when aroused. Suggests 2 fingers in, about 2 inches. Use a come here motion or circles.
We'll probably talk more about the G-spot specifically later, yeah.
Definitely. Secret 10 is multitasking. Clitoral sucking plus G-spot stimulation. Also mentions the anal area can be sensitive for some and suggests encouraging deep belly breaths right before orgasm might intensify it, spread the energy.
Deep breaths. Interesting.
And finally, Secret 11. Don't stop too early. Keep stimulating the clitoris as she climaxes. Afterwards, maybe try pressing your tongue on the underside while your lips cover the top potential for multiple orgasms. And always, always respect if she just wants to be still or cuddle afterwards.
Wow, that really is a comprehensive list. It goes way beyond just the basics, doesn't it? Into creating this really multi-layered, responsive thing.
Totally, it's aiming high.
Okay, then we get another set of tips. The top 6 oral sex tips how to give the best oral sex to a woman. Some overlap, but good reinforcement. First tip stresses mindset. See it as an opportunity for pleasure, not a chore. Ask her what she likes. Ensure comfort, pillows, go slow, warm up other areas, watch her body language.
Yeah, comfort, communication, gradual approach. Keeps coming back to those core ideas.
Yeah.
Essential stuff.
Tip 2 focuses hard on mood. Says stress is a killer for female pleasure. Relaxation is vital. They even mention women orgasming in their sleep because they're totally relaxed.
That's a powerful point about relaxation.
Yeah. So help her get out of her head. Be present. Tip 3 reminds us it's not always a race to orgasm. Sometimes just focus on pleasure, foreplay, sensuality, explore what feels good without pressure. Makes it more relaxed.
That's a great distinction. Pleasure focus versus just orgasm focus. Takes the pressure off, allows for discovery.
Tip 4 defines cunnilingus kissing, licking the whole vulva, eventually focusing on the clit. Start slow, especially if you're both new to it. Kiss tummy, thighs first to keep things moist. Approach the clit gradually. Kiss it, maybe avoid direct hard pressure at first. Kiss beside or above it.
Gentle approach again.
Tip 5 zooms in on orgasm. It says the tip of the tongue on the clit is often most intense, if done right, with the right rhythm. Key advice. Remember what made her gasp or tense up earlier? Go back to that rhythm, right near or on the clitoris.
That's super practical. Using her own reactions as your guide. Smart.
And finally, tip 6 brings it back to the bigger picture. It says it's not just tongue on clitoris, it's emotions, mind, connection. Feeling your presence, maybe even your masculine energy, suggests using hands firmly hold hers, her arms, chest, hips while you're performing oral sex. Encourage eye contact. Builds that deeper connection.
Yeah, it loops back to that holistic view. The physical act is amplified by the emotional presence and connection. It all works together.
Okay, now let's specifically tackle the G-spot. The book acknowledges there's some debate, mostly among male scientists apparently, whether it's a distinct organ or more like a dense nerve network.
Right, the anatomical specifics are debated.
Located, generally, upper wall of the vagina, behind the pubic bone. Supposedly feels kind of ridged when aroused like the roof of your mouth and can swell up. But interestingly, the book mentions ancient cultures, Indian and Chinese.
Oh yeah, what do they say?
They apparently saw it as a powerful, sacred spot. believed stimulating it could release emotional or sexual tension, lead to deeper, longer orgasms by activating internal erectile tissue.
Wow, that historical angle is fascinating. It suggests people knew something important was there for a long time, even if they didn't call it the G-spot. Maybe the exact label doesn't matter as much as the fact that focused stimulation there works for many women.
Good point. The book offers key pointers for stimulating it. First, it's not a magic button like in porn.
Yeah, real life rarely is.
It's usually most sensitive when she's already highly aroused. Some women might not feel much there initially, maybe due to past issues, insecurity, or just needing more overall stimulation. Trust is also huge. And fingers usually, too, are often better than a penis for targeted stimulation, better control of angle and pressure.
Makes sense. More precision.
It also briefly mentions female ejaculation or squirting, just clarifying it's not urine.
Important clarification. Helps normalize it, removes stigma.
For techniques, it repeats the need for lots of foreplay first 20-30 minutes of whole-body arousal. Then, when going internal, slow entry, one finger, then maybe two, following that upper curve inside, maybe to the second knuckle deep.
Okay, slow and following the natural shape.
Stimulation itself. That come here, finger motion or circles or gentle pressing and holding, increasing pressure based on her reactions, and crucially, don't forget the clitoris at the same time.
Right, simultaneous stimulation.
Gently pressing on her lower abdomen from the outside might also intensify the G-spot feeling for some. The final advice, be present. Feel her reactions, see her as, quote, magic.
That focus on presence and mindful attention just keeps reinforcing the book's main message, doesn't it? Real connection and paying attention are the secret ingredients.
Absolutely. Okay, finally, let's cover some common mistakes. 6 things the book says women often dislike during oral sex.
The what not to do list. Always useful.
1, using teeth. Obvious, maybe, but yeah, no biting.
No, definitely not.
2, pulling her hair, unless that's something specifically discussed and agreed upon beforehand.
Consent again. Key.
3, trying difficult or new positions or techniques without making sure she's comfortable first. Check in.
Comfort first, experiment second.
4, performing oral sex in the wrong place, basically, being unfocused or unsure what she likes because you haven't communicated.
Back to listening and asking.
5, spanking. Unless, again, explicitly consented to, don't just assume.
Boundaries are crucial.
And 6, pretty basic but important,
Yeah.
being unclean, shower beforehand, good hygiene matters.
Absolutely. Those are fundamental points about respect, comfort, communication, and basic consideration. Avoid pain, discomfort, ensure hygiene.
Yeah.
The baseline for any positive sexual interaction.
Totally. And just lastly, the book briefly lists some potentially good positions for oral sex, mentions the classic her on her back, face sitting, from behind, sideways, oral in a chair, the 69 position, and 1 up.
Okay, a range of options.
Yeah, it doesn't detail them much, but just knowing these names gives you ideas to explore. Find what's comfy and gives good access for both people. Like, face sitting gives her control. From behind offers a different angle.
Right. Exploring different positions can definitely mix things up, provide different sensations, improve comfort. Good to have options.
So, learner, we've really gone deep today, haven't we? Into the art, the science, the everything of female pleasure during oral sex, drawing on this detailed book. You should now have a much richer understanding, way beyond just the basics.
Yeah, definitely. Take a moment maybe to think about the main threads we pulled out. The absolute need for open communications, how sensitive different areas are, the power of teasing and building things slowly.
And that deep link between the physical act and just feeling emotionally connected and good. Which of those ideas, those insights we talked about, really hit home for you?
What resonated the most?
This deep dive gives a really solid foundation, but like any exploration of intimacy, there's always more layer, isn't there?
Always more to learn.
What questions are maybe still lingering for you about female sexual response or just intimacy in general? Maybe thinking about the psychology of arousal more, or how different cultures view sexual pleasure. That could be your next step.
Lots to potentially explore further.
Definitely. Consider those possibilities, learner, as you continue your own journey of understanding and connection.